Enter and welcome to Rens Red Room on the Head Nerds in Charge Network.
Hello and welcome to Rens Red Room. I'm your host, Ren, and my guest co-host here today. If you'd like to introduce yourself.
What's in everybody's website out? The man, the voice, the fragrance. Happy to be back. So serious in that picture.
So Webster, you wanted to ask me some questions from
Yes.
So
Yes.
I'm all here for all the questions you got from me, sir.
Yes, I'm always curious as to, this YouTube thing is a weird, wacky place. And you and I both been around the interwebs for a while, and some interesting characters feel like they, want to use YouTube is to have a voice. So why is it you wanted to use this platform to speak your mind?
Well, I always have been doing little things on the internet because nowadays everyone uses the internet as a diary. So they put their intimate thoughts, their intimate feelings on the internet all the time. So I was one of those people who was just like every time something in the news happened, I wanted to say something about it. Anything that I seen happen, even on the internet, I just wanted to say something about it. So Curtis, who is the head of the Head Nerd Jar, saw me ranting and raving on the internet. And he gave me opportunity to join his platform. And I said, yeah, give it a try. Why not? See where it goes. And I also use this platform to bring other people along who have their own opinion, have their own thoughts, because my show is not about just having you I want you to agree with me, because I'm not going to agree with you, but I would like to hear your opinion, your thoughts. I want to see where your mindset is, because that's how we learn. We learn through communication. We learn through different people's beliefs, and we learn through different people's ideas. I don't judge you from what you say. I want to understand it, and I even can take something from it or don't. But I gave you a chance and a platform to speak your mind and your opinion. And, I'm always here to help my peoples. And that's my main thing that I really want to do, is help my people grow and be better and think something differently than the housewives of Atlanta. So,
Right.
So
Yeah.
that's where it comes from with it.
Okay. All right. So I have a question for you. It's a little bit unrelated, but it's definitely related to that being free is one of the things we've discussed before. So how thirsty are your DMs?
I just drunk some water.
Because
Okay,
let me
that's
not
how
you
thirsty.
right, you're a voluptuous woman, and there are a lot of things are on display. So I can only imagine what some people feel as though they can say in DMs because of it.
Oh, yes. Um, it's pretty thirsty. It's pretty thirsty. Um, but my mouth is dry, and that's how I keep it dry.
Okay, well,
It's like,
look,
go ahead.
you
Go
don't
ahead.
come across to me as someone who is looking for a quality mate in your DM. So that's not surprising to me whatsoever.
I'm not. I
Yeah,
mean, it's just funny to me how people really take these apps as they dating apps. It's like I'm on Facebook literally minding my business, and I get it. Like you said, I look good, okay, so I get it. But it's levels to this. Like if you come in politely, cool. But once you start being rude and ignorant, then it's like, okay, I gotta block you. What I got to do? If you want to date, Ren, please date. Stop it, you ass. That's Curtis being a douche. But yeah, I mean, it's flattering. It's very, I never say like, nigga, get off, like, get out my face.
right.
I don't do that. You more than welcome to talk to me. It's cool. It's fine as long as it's respectful. I don't, as long as it's respectful and you understand, I don't have a problem with it. But niggas will always be niggas, it's like as soon as you tell them no thank you or no, they be like, I didn't like you anyway. It's like, then why the fuck is you talking to me then? Like, it's like you didn't like me now, but you liked me 2 seconds ago. Okay.
Right. Right. And gentlemen, I don't know if you have, I don't know why you haven't learned this by now. I really don't know why. Internet ain't new. Do not send unsolicited nudes to any female. That is never, ever, ever a good idea.
No, it's not. Especially if she didn't ask for it. Like, what in your mind
No.
makes you think that I want to see your penis? Do you think I've never seen a penis before? Like, I'm confused. Like, what's your penis? Unless it's got gold in it, unless you got some gold bars, like as soon as it comes out, ooh, I'm rich. I don't give a fuck about your dick. I just don't. I'm sorry. I just don't care. Like, the fuck is you showing me your penis for? Like, what is that supposed to be? Like, oh my God, you have a dick? I didn't know that. They do accept cash at donations. Yes. Listen, I told the nigga this. I will play stupid as possible as long as you want me to. You gotta pay me, okay?
And don't expect them in return. you gotta make that, because you know there's some men that leave there with their wallets and expect that to mean everything. It was like, again, I don't know what boo-boo fool you are to think that.
Mm-hmm.
Don't expect anything in return. But I was just curious. I was like, because you made a comment the other day based on it wasn't a comment, it was someone posted one of those questions, and I just said, oh, did he really say that?
Yeah.
I feel, as a man, I feel bad when men say that, because I'm like, are you that? Look, I know all the blood flow goes one place when we see things. We're like, I get it. Yeah, I'm a man. I understand. However, don't speak. Don't speak. Don't speak. Don't type. Don't do anything. Keep scrolling, and let that blood flow distribute across your body, and then you say, hey, I really like your pictures. Is any way I can get to know you better, or something like that? Maybe we can talk to each other, see if there's any connection there. Maybe we can meet in person. Yada yada yada. Of course, I don't exactly think like a lot of guys on the internet, obviously. But that's how you should come at it.
That's how you should. But of course, depending on how this guy was brought up, how he was raised, what environment he was in, he don't think to how to act like a gentleman, how to even ask a girl out. Because I really be wondering, like you said, like I've posted on my Instagram, just ask me questions. If you're curious to know me, ask me questions. And they was like, can I bury my face in your titties something? And I'm like, do that work with the other girls you ask that same question to? Like, it's just like, sometimes you need to think before you speak type of thing. Like, why do you think a person I do not know, never talked to in person, never met in person, never had an intimate conversation with, that I'm just going to pick you out of the thousands and thousands of followers and viewers that I have and say, yeah, nigga, come bury your face in my titties. Just because I'm bored. Just because you got a penis. And I just want you to bury your face in my titties.
And like I said to you, I'm sure a lot of men think that when they see you, but they're not going to say it, and they shouldn't say it. Let me, gentlemen, fellas, let me explain something to you. One thing I've learned in my life, my sort of long, short life. Women know that's what we want. Don't act like it. That's the biggest way to turn them off.
Right. Aggression is not cute. Yeah,
right. If that's what you lead with, that's one way ticket to, if she had any interest, closing up shop. I'm just saying.
I give people opportunities. I always say, come hang out. I don't be an asshole. I give people opportunities. And I'm not a douchebag. It's like, I get it. I understand. If you want to hang out, perfectly fine. Forget you, Curtis. Okay, get out the fucking way. I give people opportunities. I do. I don't know what Curry's talking about, but it's also, it's like it depends on the connection. It's like if you really trying to have a real type of situation with me, it has to be a connection, right? It has to be a vibe. It has to be both got to feel the same type of thing here. And if I don't, then I just don't. It's nothing personal. It's nothing personal.
Right.
It's just I'm picky. I'm just like, I like my space and my company. And if I'm comfortable enough, you can be in my space and company. That's it. It's not that hard.
So you've been, it's exhausting, but you've been doing this for a little bit now, as far as the podcasting and being on video. What do you want to do with this going forward? Show 10, 11, like you've been doing it that long. So have you even thought about maybe what you want to do, how you want to expand this in the future?
Yeah, I'm hoping to make it like an actual news type of thing. Like like you interviewed people at that convention. I want to do it like that. I want to go on the streets. I want to go to Black-owned businesses or even small-owned businesses and interview the managers and ask them like, what made you do this? How did you do this? To help my people, because this is my whole thing is to help my people gain financial wealth, gain more knowledge, and gain more wisdom so they can be secure. I see all my people, my friends have their own businesses, they have their own properties, they have their own stuff. I had a friend that just came back from Vegas, and I just had a friend came back from Colombia. So it's like my peoples are doing their thing, and I learn from them, and I want to pass on the knowledge to others to help them also elevate. It's levels to this, like I said, and you have to be on a certain level, So I want people to elevate. So that's what I'm hoping to make it some like newscasting type of situation.
I love that. And I'm glad you have that forward thinking vision already of what you want to expand it to. I think that personally, just knowing that I have through my platforms have like I talked to a lot of people, but I've championed Black-owned businesses. If you notice, even a lot of the people that I tend to interview are people who are melanated for the most part, whether it's Black, Latino, Asian, or what have you, because again, I don't discriminate, but I do understand that those individuals, when it comes to mainstream media, when it comes to YouTube algorithm, there isn't a lot of shine on those individuals just from the outset, regardless of the notoriety that they have or the stature. You are still not going to have the same sort of spotlights as if I have, like, for instance, with the adult world, the blonde with humongous, and again, if that's what you like, that's what you like. If that's what you find attractive, that's what you find attractive. I'm not down in that. I'm just simply saying, if you think adult actress, there's a stereotype that pops into your head, period. And I purposely want to interview those, again, not limited to, because I'll interview anybody. Everybody got a story. Everybody can be very interesting. But, and if you see, I have quote unquote interviewed people who would fit that stereotype as well. So I'm definitely not discriminatory, but I purposely seek out those that don't fit the cookie cutter mold of what that person is, because I want to highlight them. I highlight Black-owned businesses. I highlight Black-owned products through my partnership with Basil and Sage, and even fragrances. I do my best to, if I find a Black-owned company, if I'm not buying or I haven't bought, they're in my stories. I'm reaching out to them to big up them just because I am proud of what they accomplished, and whatever I can do, even if I haven't necessarily contributed with my dollars yet, I want to make sure people know about your brand. So I totally understand that, and that's part of my whole mission as well. And you talk about the interviewing. You've had some interesting. You have been talking about the topics of the day, and we have one very key one, which fits into a lot of what we've been talking about coming up shortly. And we look at, oh, I look at like when I was on with Sir Leesus and everything, you have delved a lot into the lifestyle. And I myself, considering, you know, those individuals who I'm speaking to at various conventions are into the lifestyle as well. It's funny because they say I'm into the lifestyle, but that really is multifaceted. It's like the head of a hydra, like there are different aspects of quote unquote the lifestyle. What has prompted you to not just to get more educated about it yourself, but to bring that more so to the forefront using your platform?
Well, because a lot of people are fascinated with this quote unquote lifestyle. And the reason why I say quote unquote is because like people have their own definition of it. You know, they have their own terms of it, and they have their own idea and beliefs on what it is and what it isn't. So because of that, I want to get more educated to know exactly what it is. Because of course a person on the outside looking in is just a bunch of freaks being freak nasty, you know. So it's just, to me, I'm just like, it has to be more to that than just that. And of course, me always getting prompted to, do you want to join my three-way? do you want to join my poly? Do you want to join me? Like, it's like, okay, like so I just want to get more educated with it, because it's just, to me, on the outside looking in, it's just like, y'all a bunch of freak nasties. Y'all just swinging y'all penises everywhere. Like, to me, on the outside looking in, I just really wanted to be educated. Like, I don't like assuming. I hate assuming because the people assume so much about me. I do not want to assume or anything else. That's why I ask questions and I deep dive into the nitty gritty to understand the full concept here. What's the full concept? So I went to the event and talked to people, interviewed people myself to ask them what's actually is lifestyle and what is it about this whole situation. So to me, it was welcoming, because it was like, of course, in that type of environment, it's a no judgment zone. So I get to be able to look sexy without people thinking like, oh, you ready to suck some dick. And of course, people asked me to do that, and I said no, thank you, but they didn't trip about it. So it was just like, okay, you get it. I don't have to do nothing I do not want to do, and it's nothing personal. You find somebody else who's into that. It's simple, you know. So yeah, so for me, I've seen people who are poly, I've seen people who are in an open relationship, I've seen people who are swingers, I see people who are voyagers. Like, I've seen it with my own two eyes, and I ask them questions because they've been in it like for 20 years or something. So, and to me, I'm still don't fully understand it, but I get it. You know, it's to me, it's like, to them, it's like, because I talked to a married couple that came there. So they've been doing this for years. So for them, it's like, instead of me just cheating on you, I'm going to invite you into the fun of it, you know, the excitement of it, the thrill of it. So you're fully aware of what I'm doing here. I don't know if you've seen the video, but I had a fire massage by this man who was a part of lifestyle.
Yes.
He had a wife, a white woman. He was a black man, had a wife, and two other submissives. That's what he called them. So I don't know what that means. It was his girlfriend, or his girlfriends, or his side chicks, or whatever. So they was all in this room, and he was beating them. He was beating them with whips and all types of stuff. So I'm just sitting there watching, and then I was offered a fire massage for free, and I said, sure.
It's free.
Yes, it's free. I love it when I don't have to pay. So I was like, yeah, for sure. Give it a try. Why not? It scared the hell out of me because this man was muscles like crazy. I was like, you gonna hit me with what? Because he hits you with the firing things, and then he's really like punching the shit out you. I was like, I was like, oh my god, the fuck is going? But it still was fun. It was still a fun experience overall. You know, to say it was comfortable, not at all, but it was fun. You know, the purpose of me going there was for fun. So I had a good time. It was fun. Um, so his wife and him explain their dynamic.
Mm-hmm.
So the wife pretty much allows him to have fun. It's pretty much what it is. They make profit about it. You know, they bring it on to like some entertainment stuff. They all know each other. They was all comfortable with it. They was all cool with it. Um, but the wife literally told me, "Don't fall in love with my husband." I said, "I doubt I would do that, but thank you for letting me know." So it's still territorial, you know,
Mm-hmm.
even these people in the lifestyle have feelings and emotions. You know, it's not,
Right.
you can't say the things y'all doing, no one's getting caught up into it. People get caught up,
Right.
people get jealous, and things happen all the time, you know.
Right.
So that was my experience.
Okay. So it is interesting you brought it up because I interviewed Casey Donatello up at Exotica, New Jersey, and like her and her husband, like they have a whole podcast talking about that, and that's exactly, she alluded to some of those things as far as the emotions when like they talk about the reality of it, and I find, well, her premise and what you're doing refreshing because when you hear about it, whether it is, for instance, when I was out to this past time in DC, it was with the DMV glory hole, and that's just like that whole concept, just like not saying they don't exist, but how they do it. I'm like, say what?
Mm.
And I'm like, okay, but the way that is described, a lot of times it's just, and I said they did it that way, but I'm just using as an example. It comes off of being so glamorous. We see the TV shows, we see on,
Right.
and I feel like there's more and more people online. And honestly, and what did you say? What, you're about 30 now ish?
Mm.
Okay,
Yeah.
so I'm 45.
Mm.
In my observation, I hear more and more people talking about the lifestyle, talking about poly relationships. They're like 35 and under. Not saying it's not the case, but those that I see online are very vocal about it. Those that are talking about it, I see them definitely millennials.
Mm.
And I find it interesting with it because it seems like such a shift generationally as far as
Mm.
how we're viewing relationships, how we're viewing sex and sexuality. And
Mm.
again, it's not a good thing or bad thing, it's just an observation of that compared to, and again, not saying there are people in my demographic that are in poly relationships that are participating in the lifestyle. I'm pretty sure that there are, and it's something that has been around for a very long time. Swingers and swinger clubs and all that stuff. Like none of that stuff is new. Okay. But it
Right.
just seems like that presence online, that presence in public is very much driven by millennials who are in the lifestyle. And I find
Mm.
that very, very interesting with that. And it's refreshing, but also I think, and we're having this conversation. I think by having so many people who are of a younger generation, but also because of social media, vocal about it, we can have honest discussions about it. You brought up something as far as going to the event. One of the things, and this is something Alfonso Lays said to me when I was at Exotica, which I very much think is true. You go to places like that, those are the one places you will not be judged at all.
Right.
Everything is accepted. It's inclusive. And I think that society as a whole can learn from those sort of events because I don't have to agree with what you do. I don't have to
Right.
think what you do is right, or even I can just say it's not for me. But that don't mean I'm not going to respect you. That doesn't mean I'm not going to accept you as who you are. And
Mm.
it's interesting that you have this place or these events where the normies will say, "Oh, it's hedonistic, it's debauchery," and they have all these assumptions. It's like it's against God and this and that. And you go there, and that is a place where there is accepting, there's a place where you can be whoever, whatever, dress however. Like, yeah, some people will be like, oh, whoa, okay, and then you go about your business.
Right.
But wait a minute, is he dressed like a okay?
Oh yeah, I saw some things, bro. But
Yeah,
I had one guy who like, and this event was expensive, but good thing I knew Lisa's or somebody on the inside because I got in for cheap. But for
right.
men, it's expensive. It's like $200 per person for man or something. So it was a group of men that came up there that we had the whole floor to ourselves. It was in a hotel, the whole floor, like every room was rented. It was a group of men, looked like some entourage shit. Paid like $200 a piece to get in this party. And I guess to them, they thinking, oh, I spent all this money, I'm about to get some free pussy somewhere. So they come to me, I'm the wrong one to come to. Like this man literally,
Right.
after the session I had a session with Lisa's and the fire person. So I guess they got turned on by both of the sessions because they was grabbing me.
Right.
And I'm like, I am not the only woman in here. Get up off me. Like, get the fuck off me. There's plenty of women in here from y'all to
Right.
choose and pick from. I came here to just observe. Okay.
Exactly.
So, and they wasn't complete douche about it. They was aggressive at first, but then they got it. Like, okay, she right. There's other women I can come and do this thing to, you know. So it's like I get it, y'all. Men, women get it. Y'all horny. I get it. Okay, but stop coming after these women because it's like you said, the younger generation. Why are they
Right.
so more open to all this freeness? Main thing reason is marriage isn't like it used to be. Dating is not like it used to be. And that's just where it comes to with the whole lifestyle thing. There's a lot of people that's hurt, heartbroken, sad, lonely, and they just want they want the biological thing that we all want. Love, intimacy, connection. We biologically want to have sex. We biologically want to feel special. We biologically want to feel these needs and wants. Okay. Don't get that misconstrued. We all want these things, but some people don't understand the biological about it. They just think, oh, I must want to fuck something. I just want to
Right.
get this thing off, but I don't want to commit to a person because I'm still hurt from Jessica, or Jessica's still hurt from
Right.
Tyrone. So they still want the feelings and emotions that we biologically want and need, but they using it as some sort of I don't know how to describe it, like just a little antidote. Like I just need the little fix real quick and then I'll be about on my day, on my way. But you would need the fix again. You still would
Right.
need that intimacy, that conversation, and that talk. You still would need it. So that's where I come with the confusion. Like y'all want what y'all don't understand y'all want. It's like y'all come off, and this younger generation is always YOLO. That means live
Right.
young or whatever, do what you feel type of thing, do what
You
you
only
want
live
type of
once,
thing.
just whatever.
Yeah. So it's a lot of like, who cares? Who cares? Who cares? I fucking care. I care. I care.
Right.
I care about my well-being. I care about my mental health. I care about my physical. I care. Okay. Others may not, but that's fine. But because this person did this for you, please don't come to another woman thinking she's going to do the exact same thing because we are not
Right.
all the same. So you got to think in that what you did with Jessica is not what you're going to do with Brittany. Just know that because there's two different people. They have both different needs, and that's just how it is.
Now, let me ask you this, and this is something that I think about, not so much like what you suggested, which I think is very, very true and accurate for some. I think it's funny. We are more disconnected now than I think ever before, but we have access to so much and so many. And I'm wondering if that access really plays into the, I guess, proliferation of people being in a lifestyle, because now you have access to possibly dating multiple people where you didn't have that before. Because like, you know, we talk about Instagram, there are, you know, people to meet on Instagram all the time.
Right.
You can find people who are interested in the same things you are. You can, you know, much like I talk about DMV Glory Hole, that's, you know, you can find people who enter the internet offers access to people and people who share similar viewpoints, or just the access to people in general that we have really never had in human history when it comes to the context of love, sex, and relationships. And
Mhm.
with that, do you think that that plays a part into this as well?
Yeah, of course, because it's so easy access, people are taking advantage of it. It's
Hmm.
always when something sounds too good to be true, it usually isn't. Um, like we discussed it last time, back in the day, you had to date somebody on your block, or you had to date someone at work, or you had to date someone close to you. And you didn't think about dating multiple people, because why would you do that? You had exactly what you needed, and that was good enough for you. Now people just don't. I think that people just taking advantage of the situation. Like, of course, you can have
I can see that as
all
well.
these people. Yeah, it's like you being too greedy. It's like, of course, you can have all these people, but why would you even try to do all that? Like, I don't understand it and get it. But I have friends who are poly, and that's in that lifestyle, life full force. So I asked them, why are you poly?
Hmm.
Because from what I've seen, my experiences and what I've seen and heard, it don't work out like they thinking it works out. People all,
Right.
and
Yeah.
that's regular relationships too. Like a regular
Right.
relationship, you really think this is going to be your person forever, and it usually don't be that. So I asked my friend, like, what is poly really? Because to me, on the outside looking in, it just seemed like a bunch of people want to have sex with multiple people and not be judged about it.
Right.
And my friend was like, poly, real poly is like connection and relationships. So the person just wants to love multiple people, and that's how they see poly. So it's no different from your husband going out and sleeping with somebody else and fall in love with this woman, but still come home to you because he loves you too, I guess. So I guess they made it into like a poly situation. Like, I can love multiple people. It doesn't mean I love this person less, and it doesn't mean I love this person more. I just love y'all both in different ways. And I get more for the buck, I guess.
I get that. And I think for me, and this is my perspective, especially through my own experiences, is being married for the past 16 years. For a lot of men, when it comes to relationship, love is an action.
Hmm.
Let me phrase that. If they genuinely give a fuck about the person.
Right.
Love is an action. Love is something you do. Love is you putting that person before you, especially if you call that person your wife. Love is about making sure they're okay before you're okay. It's not so much of the feeling of like, oh, I'm in love with this person and yada yada yada. It's an action. It's a priority. And again, that's what I've learned, and that's how I operate within the context of my relationship. However, I've also said to myself, and I just in general when I have conversations, just like I think, and again, I'm a man. I can't speak for women, right? And also, I
Mhm.
think women love in different way than men do, personally speaking.
Right.
But I will say, because people like, oh, you can't love two women. Yes, you can. Yes, you can. Yes, you absolutely can. Because love is about action, and you can
Right.
give to your action it with, like, you love your mama. Okay, you performing in actions. You love your daughter. You love your sister, whatever, and you show that via your actions. So,
Mhm.
what is the difference when, okay, I have my spouse, and then there's this other woman who I have developed a relationship with, and I love her too, and when we're together, my actions demonstrate that I love her, my whether it is service or what have you. And then when I leave her, I go back to my spouse.
Mm.
I'm again, I'm not saying it's right or wrong. I'm simply saying that I understand that context, and particularly because as I've gotten older, I have, and again, older as a married man,
Yeah.
I understand what you really do when it comes to say you love someone. Because loving someone and just having
Mm.
sex with them is not love. That's like
Right.
I love
Right.
sex. I'm infatuated. It's lust. Um,
Right.
again, obviously, intimacy can breed into that, but so I get it in some aspects. Like I get the poly lifestyle in some aspects.
Right.
For me, though, and again, it's nice, almost like it can't work. But look, one person is hard enough,
Right.
and then dealing with multiples, and then I had a an associate who I was talking to them, and then and they're married, and I had no idea. And well, I think I saw something a while ago online where they reference girlfriends, but again, I'm thinking, oh, that's their girlfriends. They're hanging out with them. I didn't think like, oh, that's their girlfriends, right? So I didn't think
Mm.
about that way. So we were talking, and he's like, yeah, so and so, yeah, I'm gonna go out with my girlfriend, and I'm like, and my mind is like, okay. And they said, yeah, so and so, his wife was like, yeah, she's out with one of her boyfriends. I'm like, oh, and he's like, oh yeah, we're in a podcast. Okay, like it clicked, but I was like, oh, okay.
Right.
Again, not so much it was a judgment, but it was more so like, oh, I didn't know, so I
Right.
didn't
Right.
expect it sort of thing. It was more shock and awe than how do you do that? But again,
Mm.
when you bring more people into a situation, you are asking for things to go, the emotions to get involved, for people to get maybe jealous, or you know, somebody get stigmatized. I'm like, you're asking for that. And the more people you involve in a situation. That's why I say when you have that multiple thing, and also just the whole aspect of, okay, if I got a wife, then I got a girlfriend, then she got a girlfriend or a boyfriend or what have
Mm.
you, then who
Mm.
are they seeing? Like that's a
Right.
whole web of sexual fluids being passed around. I was like, I mean, tested or
Yeah.
not, well, and even everybody tests everybody. It's still, I don't know. I get very
Yeah.
metaphysical when it comes to
Oh,
sex
oh, you want me to tell you
and
some stories? I
absolutely.
let me.
So
It's story time, okay? I got stories because I do know people who are in this lifestyle fully, and like you said, it's
mhm,
complicated. It's of course on paper it sounds like a dream. I got two women I could sleep with. Most like to a man, it's a dream come true, right? And I'm sure for some women it might be too. But this is the real shit, okay? I know people don't like the truth and the honesty, but I gotta give it to you. It's complicated. Like anything, any situation, when you messing with people's emotions and feelings, it can be complicated. So it's good sides to it, and of course, it's gonna be bad
mhm,
sides. Women can get pregnant, guys. Doesn't matter what the situation is. So are we making multiple baby mamas? Are we making multiple wives? What are we doing here when we in this poly relationship? If that's what you're trying to really achieve a relationship, shouldn't you want longevity with this situation? From what I've seen, I know a man who is married to his wife. They've been poly for years because he admits he has a sex addiction. So he had multiple girlfriends. They usually fall off because his main priority is his wife and his family. So the wife was also poly too. He gave her a pass to do what you
mhm,
want, just don't get pregnant. So lo and behold, she gets pregnant because feelings and emotions happen. Okay. What she wasn't feeling for her husband, she got from another man. And a bit life created from that emotion and feeling. So now the husband is pissed because that was their rule. Don't get no one pregnant, no one comes home pregnant. But because she was so emotion with this man and wanted this connection with this man. She got pregnant by this man. And unfortunately, the man says, I'm not taking care of the kid. Ask your husband to do it. So let's be real, guys. This is why people do not like poly relationships, because it gets messy. When you mess with people's feelings and emotions, things happen. Okay. You can't tell someone to cut off their feelings like a light switch, because that's not possible. If I'm sharing bodily fluids with you, if I'm sleeping with you, if I'm cuddling you, if I'm holding you, if I'm feeling you, that is a connection that I want to keep. So why are you telling me to turn my emotions on and off like a light switch every day of the week? What type of mental thing you trying to have here? Because that's mental break to a person's
Right.
mind. You want me to love you today, but hate you tomorrow. How is that going to work? But of course, in different cultures, they practice this on a regular basis because it's their culture. There's a difference
Right.
between you just picking this up because it sounds nice to you, and it's actually a culture that another race and the whole country lives by on a regular basis. And
Right.
even they understand the reason they live by it is financial gain. The woman
Right.
is perfectly provided for and taken care of. The man is providing for the wives. They have the houses, they have the clothes, they got the food, they take care of the kids. They have a structure, and that's their culture because they was raised in it. Not
Mhm.
American culture, when we was raised to believe a man and a woman is supposed to be married and it's supposed to be happily ever after. You're supposed to have children, you're supposed to grow from that and be from there. I guess the fairy tale book fantasy that people trying to create. Listen, any
Right.
relationship can be a fantasy. Any relationship you can make up what you think is going to be in your mind, but reality always sets. So you just gotta be careful. You gotta be real careful playing
Yep.
with people's feelings.
Yep. And that's the part about this story. Legally speaking, the husband is obligated to take care of that kid because she
Mm,
had it while they were married. That the dude
mm,
he can literally leave.
yeah,
That's messed up. But I'm gonna ask you one
he
question. I know more
shouldn't.
than the current topic we want to get into. Yeah.
Mm,
Well, look, we were talking before about the laws when it comes to marriage and whatnot. They ain't always favor the man. But we'll get to some of that shortly. What kind of fragrances are you into, if you're into any at all?
well, right now it's Fenty from Rihanna. It smells divine. I told you last time, it smells like sex
Right.
to me. Something I want
Right.
some more and more. But yeah, I love it. It feels comfortable. It makes me feel cozy. Like if somebody smelled me right now, I know they would love me.
Got you. Definitely bury their head in you. Okay, understand. All right, so let's get to the topic we've been discussing offline, the tomfoolery of this Jonathan Majors case, and
Yes.
how, first of all, I come to these things from, and I don't think we've all been discussing this in our private circles over the past few months, and I think,
Mm,
and what gets me about this is I see women talking about this and they're like, this makes no sense whatsoever. With everything that's come out about this case, with everything that supposedly that this woman did after she was allegedly assaulted by him,
mm,
and the fact that this still was brought to trial, I see so many, like literally, my YouTube feed, it's all women talking about this that have popped up today. I watched one video, one news report on it, and literally everybody that has come up talking about this case on my feed have been women. Everybody.
mm,
And they've all been talking about the lunacy of it. Well, I said lunacy, but how the testimony is conflicting, how why are they talking about like something that happened in 2021 or early 2022? And we will
mm.
talk about it. And I said, what does that have to do with the case at hand?
All right.
Like realistically, what does, because if he's charged with certain things, which he is, that happened on a very specific night, why are we why is the prosecution even allowed to, and I understand they're trying to paint him as something, but whether this man has, and again, I don't know if he has a hazard. Now I'm not saying he is, but whether this man had been whipping her ever loving behind 3 or 4 months beforehand is really irrelevant to what happened that night, because that's what he's charged with. He's not
Well,
charged with a pattern. No, go ahead.
yeah. Oh yeah. Well, they have to build a case. So they have, because it went to trial. So this
Right,
is really his life on the line type of
right.
situation. So of course, a lawyer getting paid buku bucks is going to even find out if he was, when he was 5 years old, did he steal candy from a baby? They trying to build up a case against him, and so they're going to paint him in the worst light possible. But if that's the worst thing you can paint about somebody, then I don't think the situation was as deep as they trying to allege it to be.
Yeah, it's really odd to me with all of the video that has come out that has been confirmed that she she was out on the street. You see her, trying to chase after him, and he just he saw her move to the side and walked away. And you see the dude that had nothing to do with it, want to get indignant. And I was like, dude, stay in your lane. Then you see her going to the club, two phoning it, drinking like nothing happened. And I hear the testimony's like, oh, it was adrenaline. No, the hell it wasn't. And look, I'm pretty sure we both have met people in our lives that have suffered abuse. They ain't going out to the club. They ain't standing there with some strangers after the fact. They ain't doing none of that. And
it depends. It depends on the person's level of trauma. Some people, like I know people who've been abused, like physically and mentally, like really bad. And they still sit in it and they still stay in it because they love the person that badly. A woman, and this is why I hate when men say black women don't submit. We submit to point of disrespect. Okay, we really love y'all niggas that y'all do not love or show love or appreciation to us, but we still love y'all and we stand by y'all. So it just depends on the level. Like some people, I mean, if somebody hit me, I ain't staying. I know I'm not staying because I had a nigga try and he thought, oh, I wasn't gonna leave. Okay, you think I ain't gonna leave? Oh, you got the right one. But some women don't. Some women really just be. I like the lifestyle that he's providing, and that's probably why she was out drinking and partying, because she liked the lifestyle and the attention that she got from him.
But this is my issue. Have you ever broken a finger before?
No.
Okay, I have. And I have, and it was adrenaline was pumping when it happened and right after it happened.
Right.
Adrenaline does not last hours on end for you to, again, be standing with people that you don't know, talking with them, crying, and they be at the club later on. If your finger is broken, there is no way you're doing, based on my own experience, but if you have a broken finger like she did, there's no way she's doing what she did hours later. And that's kind of that's where I hear that conversation and I hear that story, and I'm like, I call BS. I call BS because if these are the injuries that are reported happen to you, if they happen when they said they did, there is no way that you are going out and doing what you did with a broken finger with these other injuries and then could claim that it was adrenaline. There was no adrenaline 4, 5, 6 hours later. None. That's not happening. The human body does not work that way. And then two, and then I had a conversation the other day with someone, not related to this issue, but we brought this up about going through people's phones and going through people's property trying to find something. And if you feel as though you have to go through, you're going to find something, whether it's something there or not. That's what we both say. And this is a female I was talking to. And in this situation, I'm listening to it. So you struck him, you took his phone, you clawed at him. Okay, so you attacked him and took his property. And he was trying to get it back, and you made it seem like he was just overbent. You started the altercation.
Right.
That happened. because you lost. Someone was texting, so you attacked him, you scratched him, you injured him, and again, the level of physicality is not the same, but you started the altercation. He wasn't this just overbearing person that just hit you, that just got into a fight. No,
And
you
she
started it.
admitted it. And she admitted that she did start the fight. The thing is, what she's saying is she didn't want to go to trial. The cops wanted to go to trial. So pretty much the cops persuaded her to go on with a lawsuit type of situation and get him arrested. I'm going to tell you exactly from the quote she said. The ex-girlfriend said, "I felt like it was my fault." That's her own quote. You can look it up on Vanity Fair and any of these other news headlines. She acknowledged that I did
Yeah, I heard that.
start it. So for him to have to go through all this, and even it was recording. This happened back in March. It's even recording of her saying, "I apologize. I'm sorry. I want you back. Can we fix it? Can
Right.
we work this out?" Like she felt empathetic about the situation, but that could be it could be a victim mentality, but if she's literally saying it's not as big deal as y'all trying to make it to be, why are y'all still going with the case? She even fled the country at one point. At one point, she fled the
Yeah.
country. They was trying to interview her again about the case, and she want no parts of it. She fled the country. But I guess they maybe subpoena her, tell her you have to come back and at least finish the trial. So literally, this whole Coretta Scott, this is the funniest part. Like, if you've seen
Right.
Jonathan Majors, like he dressed like he's from the 50s. So for him
Right.
to quote Coretta Scott King, and what was the other woman?
Michelle
Michelle
Obama.
Obama.
Yes, you act more like them.
It's
That
hilarious.
tripped me
You
out.
ask a white woman to
That
act like a black woman. That's funny.
Well, not even that. And I told you, like, I didn't even, everybody was online talking about it. The fact that she's white. And I just thought these are two women who are in very, very much for many people, whether it's black or white, the personification of what a partner's supposed to be, what
Right.
a wife's supposed to be.
Right.
Elegance, class, poise, dignity. That's the sort of public face. Now, who knows what they're like behind closed doors, or were in the case of Coretta Scott, but were behind closed doors. But they are this personification of what a woman is supposed to be when it comes to being out in society, being out in the public eye. And when I heard that quote, that's immediately what I went to. And especially
Right.
hearing the context, I was like, oh, he's like, yo, you need to chill. You need to act like a lady, quote unquote lady. You need to act like you have some refinement to you instead of getting whatever it is about that situation. That's what I took it as. I didn't even think about the race thing, but that's what everybody online went to. And I'm just like, dude, it's
Because
not
he's
about
dated
race.
a white woman. Like, I
But the
get
comment's
what
not
he's
about
trying to
race.
say. I get what he's trying to say, but it's still like you could have said Martha Stewart. Like, why did you pick two white women? I mean, two black women.
Because he's a black man. He's not going to say Jackie O. Jackie O would be the closest analog to those two, in my opinion. Like Jackie
Right.
Onassis. Jackie,
Right.
like that's the person, like, in my opinion, they would say, oh, you want a white equivalent. That's what it is. But nobody, but he's a black man.
Oh my
He's
God.
going to automatically go to the archetypes that we have in the black community for what a quote unquote presentable, classy, feminine, accomplished woman looks like. And those
Yeah.
are going to be two of the top tiers right there.
Yeah, I mean, literally, this meme that Curtis is showing a black man married a white woman and trying to raise the white woman into African culture for society. You see the kids wearing like some African garbs, and his wife having braids and having African garbs. It's like, listen, why are y'all black men really think the grass is greener on the other side? Like, why? Why are y'all really trying to?
I've never dated a white woman, so I wouldn't know. But side note, the little girl, Isn't that the same little girl that was in
Yes,
Jurassic Park?
yes, it
I never
is.
picked up on that till now. No, she's not a little girl now. She wasn't really a little girl then
Right.
either. But yeah, I was just like, okay. I've
Yeah.
never dated a white woman, so I have no idea why. Not saying I haven't found any white women attractive. I've just
Mm.
never dated any. It's just not something I've done. So I've never, me personally, even when I think about it. Well, first of all, and this is what I'm saying. We us brothers, we talk. You know, if you bring a white one home, she has to be quality
Mm.
because because you got to deal with your black mama,
Right.
and you don't want to. I say a white woman specifically, a Caucasian woman, simply because if you're going to go for white woman, you need to bring home the baddest thing you possibly can. You need to
Mm.
make everyone understand why you are with her. It's like it's psychologically ingrained. Right, right. Don't bring it home because you're
Ah!
crying. Exactly. But that is something that is ingrained, at least in my generation. That is something that was ingrained. Like, you need to make sure she's like, how we as black people, we always feel like we have to be better than everybody else in order to be, even seen in the same light. It
Yeah.
works in reverse as far as a black man bringing a white woman home. Like, she need to
Right.
be better than any other black woman you could possibly pull if you're gonna bring
Mm.
her home.
Right.
Because there's a level of scrutiny there because you did go outside of your race. Um, I never did that. Never really, never thought about it. I mean, I guess like if that's something I wanted to do, I probably could have opportunity. But
Mm.
so I can't comment personally like, yeah, I don't know why that he wanted to date a white woman or he approached her. That's his thing. I don't know. I'm also a lighter skinned black man, so
Yeah.
usually it's the other way around too. And I guess
Yeah.
honestly, subconsciously, I always thought I wanted my kids to have some color.
Yeah.
Personally speaking, it's like, oh yeah. So I never thought about it like I wanted to, but I'm still like, no, I want my kids to have some color. So I
Mm.
they never appealed to me in that sort of basic biological sense. It was like, I want some color, because I'm already light enough as it is. It's bad enough. I thought my grandfather was white. He was so pale, and then my
Yeah.
grandmother's my father's parents. So you know,
But
it's all
yeah,
good.
I mean, from what the Jonathan Major situation, a lot of men who love they stone snow bunnies came out of the fucking hole and wanted to shit on black women like we don't got enough issues and problems already, and just be like, well, white women submit more or other races submit more. Like a woman recently was in a podcast and says black women would be winning in life because we have the looks and the body and the features that other races want. We would be winning in life if we were more soft. um I don't know why another race of women is trying to speak on behalf of all black creatures. And then she says she don't know why black women ain't soft. Well, if you do not know why are you speaking on the behalf of black women? I can educate you and tell you why from a black woman who was raised in Philadelphia, West Philadelphia, born and raised. Raised in the ghetto, been to the projects, been to the suburbs. I've been all over the city and all out the city. I've been all over the place. And so, as a black woman who has seen it with her own two eyes of the struggle and the torment and turmoil that we go through every single day, I can't be soft because I don't have the privilege of being soft. I have to worry about my kids' safety 24/7. I have to worry about my kids being judged 24/7 because of her skin complexion or because of her hair texture. Because I've lived in the suburbs with a bunch of white people who, in the high schools, were very mean and judgmental. um, I had went to a camp full of white people who wanted to touch my sister's hair because they never seen it before. And so other races that have not seen or experienced the black experience thinking, oh, y'all over exaggerating. Y'all over exaggerating. Why is it so difficult for Black people to achieve greatness? And this is why I use this platform to bring on other Black entrepreneurs and other people to show we all not statistics. We all not no ghetto or ratchet.
Right.
We all don't think the same. We are not symbiotes. Okay. So
Right.
for the people of the cultures who do not understand, let me break it down to you. Okay. I cannot be soft because one, I have to fight the world alone as a single Black woman. Did I choose to be a single Black woman? In some aspect, I did because I'm the one who wanted to do other things in life that my child father did not want to do. So, out of literally disagreements, we separated. But I still picked a great child's father because he's been there since day one. If anything happens to me, I know I can leave my daughter with him and she will be great. He is married, has his own house, has his car, has his life, has his career, and has another child. That is my daughter's sister, and we all one big happy family. We do not hate each other. We show our child love because we created her out of love. And because we're not together no more does not mean I hate him. Okay. So I literally had a woman today explaining my daughter because she goes to school. We in some suburban neighborhood. So they asked me, so where's the child's father? Thinking I'm a single Black woman with no baby daddy, around. I'm like, he's home. Oh, so he's a part of your kid's life? Like, yes, he is. Why wouldn't he be?
You're
Well,
right.
that just seemed rare. It's rare. I mean, I did lay down with him and gave him a child. I was the first baby mama, not to brag, but I was the first woman that gave birth to our firstborn. And we loved each other very much, and we continue to love each other just as friendship because we don't want our daughter to see chaos and crazy just because we're not together anymore. So it's funny to me
Right.
how other people really saying, "Oh, that's rare. That's different. It's different." Well, if I'm rare and different so much, why do y'all men still treat Black women as shit? If why am I still putting in this box a Black woman if I'm so rare and different to some other person's eyes or something? We still get shitted on regardless of our stature. Like Beyonce just had a movie, the Renaissance movie, where she described how Beyonce, this multi-million dollar platform diva, still gets judged, still gets shitted on, still gets like you not good enough as a Black woman phenomenon. She's literally saying in her own documentary that I go through struggles. I have to tell people what to do because they think I'm a joke because I'm a Black woman. This woman has seen the world, traveled the world, and got fortunes and millions, and she still goes have problems and issues. So imagine little old me who don't got 2 cents to rub together. Imagine what the fuck I'm going through. So y'all
Right.
need to be more sensitive when you talk about things you do not know or understand. Do not go on these platforms because somebody gave you a platform just to talk shit about another person's race, about another person's identity, another person's belief. Because the fuck, people still gonna live their lives regardless of what you think and what you say. Just know that. So still as a Black woman, see how I'm getting enraged and passion because this is passionate to me because I'm sick and tired of people trying to put me in a damn box, trying to tell me who I am, trying to tell me my life, and trying to tell me am I worthy or worthless enough. I'm tired of it.
Mm-hmm.
It's millions of thousands of people on this fucking planet, and I'm tired of competing with every single one of them. So it's just exhausting as a Black woman to get up and live in today's society. So please stop saying Black women ain't shit. We've been down for y'all Negroes since we was marching. Okay, we've been down for y'all Negroes since slavery. We can be submissive. We can be completely committed to y'all if y'all treat us with love and respect. The fuck am I submitting to a man that's treating me like shit for? I'm not submitting to no nigga that is literally treating me like garbage on a regular basis. I'm a grown fucking woman. I got bills to pay and I got things to do. So you going to be on the bandwagon or you're not. But I'm not putting up with nobody's disrespect. Period. I don't care you man or female. I'm not putting up with nobody's crap. Period. So
I have to say I agree and somewhat disagree with one of the points you made.
go ahead.
I don't disagree with your assessment of why Black women particularly are so hard or harsh. But for the most part, in my opinion, nothing you said is not anything that Black women haven't had to deal with in some way, shape, or form since we were brought here over here. And they still found a way to be soft when it comes to their men. And I have, particularly in, I would say, the past 10 years, probably 5 years, I think for me, I had to come into being a man enough to really be able to observe and see a lot of these things in other women outside of my own household. But I have seen many women who I would say are probably some of the most feminine, softest women Black women I've ever met in my life, but will stab you in a heartbeat if you cross it. So I would say, I think in many respects that balance has been lost. Partially because of what you said as far as how many have had experiences in relationships and how they've been treated. Okay. Another aspect of that, in my opinion, is how the world has very much stripped women from the ability to just be women and be feminine. And and I'm not going to say, oh, it's feminism, because that's not so belief, but I think there's a mindset that when you are focusing on being equal to a man, I think women forget the inherent beauty of being a woman. And that's not because of the same mindset. That's the way the world is structured now. The world is pushing you just as hard as they're pushing a man.
Right.
So you aren't able to, quote unquote, be soft because you have to be like a man, because that's the way the world is now. That is what our social movements have brought us to. And again, my mom, I'll say this. My parents divorced. They divorced when I was 10. So they divorced after married for 10 years. They separated in 8 years. Okay. My mom let it carry had to be very strict and stern, because she was, again, my father was there. But when your parents are divorced, your other parents not there like you need them to, because they're divorced. And again, that's, regardless of circumstances, that's just proximity, distance, living on one side of Baltimore, kid the other. All of that plays a part in that. So I will never knock him for not being there, not doing the best he could with the circumstances. So my mom had to be very harsh, very much a disciplinarian. So she had to be that harsh person. But I also saw my mom be soft. I also saw my mom be feminine. I also was able to see different sides of her growing up.
Right.
And even though she had to do these things, and I think, again, now I hear these conversations, I have conversations with friends. It's almost as if some, not all, both men and women, as far as our society is concerned, see that softness as a weakness, and it's really not. And I think because in this case, so many women particularly see that softness as a weakness. They don't want to be perceived as being weak, whether it's in their job, whether it's in life, whether it's in the ways. They don't want to be perceived as weak. And I'm like, that softness, that femininity, from my experiences, is the greatest strength a woman has, because that literally can move a mountain. That can literally make a man move heaven and earth for that woman, because of that femininity. And I think that balance is gone at the end of the day. That balance is gone. And
it is.
I don't think that's the conversation that we have. Everybody blames everybody, or like, oh, like even what you said again, I don't disagree with your viewpoint. And again, that's based on your experience, and I'm not trying to discount that, but I'm simply saying, when we have conversations like this, and excuse me, when we watch others have conversations like this, they never, or very rarely, do they talk about the strength in that softness, how that
Right.
softness can be even more deadly and world changing than the harshness that these women now have to adopt because of the world that they live in, because of their experiences. And that is oftentimes communicated. Like you talk about submission, that submission, and you, or a woman being submissive in that way to a man. Again, submission is not he runs all over you, he dictates everything. You just let, that's your man. You treat him as
Right.
your man.
Right.
That woman can guide that man into so many things to benefit her, to benefit her life, to make her life better. And that's, in my opinion, something that does not become part of the conversation, because when they talk about submission, they talk about it as in that woman being a slave to that man, and that is not what it's about.
Right.
And it upsets me personally speaking, because these are grown people who don't understand the definition of a word, the word itself, but
Right.
then they don't understand the definition of what it is in a relationship, which really makes me see that you have never had a relationship with a man, whether it's through his fault or your fault, where you ever have experienced that. So somebody's
Mm.
doing something wrong if you can't come from a place and really talk intelligently from experience about this. Because when they talk about
Mm.
submission, they talk about him paying this, him paying that, him doing, like, dude, submission is not about the man paying the bills.
Mm.
It's not. I mean, yes, protecting provide is a part of that relationship dynamics, but it's not about paying the bills. It's about you
It's
allowing.
about, yeah, you giving her a soft space for her to really be. This is what I say when men tell me that. It's like you want me to be soft, and I'm naturally like, listen, I know I'm a woman. I know what my jobs and my duties are: to service my child, to service my man, to service the world. I know what my duty is to this planet. Um, but other people, men and women, are just not educated of what their roles are originally supposed to be because of the internet. You can literally click on something that tells women you gotta be tough, you gotta be strong, you fuck these niggas, fuck these bitches, fuck this and fuck that. So people who are in their emotional state of, like, maybe they depressed, maybe they angry, maybe they just got out of a relationship, so they gonna feed into the negativity because, like, yeah, fuck this nigga, I'm a strong independent black woman, I can do it on my own, I can do this, I can do that. Yes, you can, sis, you can, all that, because best believe I've been doing
Right.
that. But you still need a man somewhere. You know, you still get lonely at night. You still need that intimacy. You still need that connection. Don't forget that part. You can be strong and independent all you want. It's just don't forget you need a man as well with your independence, or a woman if you even roll that way. But we both
Right.
still need each other regardless. And we need to really remember the origination of our roles. And that's what we forgot,
Mhm.
the origination of
Yep.
what are roles to be played in this scenario. And that's why other races are one up on us, because they know they roles. They literally go by the book of their ancestors. Now some young generations probably don't as much, but they got longevity of their families being together. So that's why they generations of their heritage and history gets passed down to the next and get passed down to the next and get passed. And except for black people, when some of our black people was incarcerated for no reason. Some of us was killed for no reason. Some of us was separated at birth
Right.
for no reason. So we have more cut ties of our original heritage that we don't know. We just a kid wandering the street trying to find something and somewhere to go. It's like we're lost and we don't understand where's our origination. You know, what are we supposed to be doing here? That's why black people are so confused on a lot of things, because they don't know. We don't literally know what we're supposed to do here, because one person's telling us to do this and then another person telling us to do that. So who do we listen to?
I will say this now, everything you said is great, but there's something I want to bring up that you
Mm-hmm.
said that ties very much into that whole submission part. Talk about
Mm-hmm.
service. The very definition or the very action of being in service to others is submission. And again, you being service to someone, you, you're making your man a plate because he's hungry. It's being in service. That's a form of submission. You're showing respect. I'll say this. I don't, and this is my personal opinion, I don't see how a woman can say they respect their man if there isn't an aspect of submission and particularly service in their relationship. Because typically, if you respect someone, is an air of I want to make sure they're okay. There's an air of I want to be of service to them because I respect them that much. If and I say even in the other way around, men submit all the time to their women, to their wives. They take care of
Mm-hmm.
them. They do X, Y, Z. I mean, literally, my wife is a serial entrepreneur. I have spent many days cutting flowers, doing this, doing that, driving here, driving there, transporting equipment, going back to the house to get stuff for an event when she was doing that because I respect her and what she does and what she wants to do. And for me, it was always about I saw her at her best when she was doing these things. So I damn well was going to give my time and energy to do whatever I can to make it successful and to make what she wanted to do great.
Right. But
That's
we're hurt.
that is acting right. And again, I
We
think
hurt.
you cannot have that. You can't have any of that without respecting the other person. I'll just leave it at
Right.
that. You know, if there's no submission, you really don't respect them. If you don't respect them, do you really love them? Or you
You're
simply
right.
love what they provide and what
Right, and that's vice versa. Most of the time, women are using that
yeah,
as a
vice
defense
versa.
mechanism. Women are using it as a defense mechanism. If you're not submitting or soft to your, not just random men, we're talking about your man, your husband, your boyfriend. If you're
Mhm.
not submitting to
Right.
him, it's because of something is going on here. Um, I seen an interview with Jada and Will Smith where Will Smith was like, I tried to make Jada happy and Jada just wasn't happy no more. So this is why we separated. I need you to find what's making you happy. Because I tried everything in the book to try to make you happy. So now you have to make yourself happy. And if love is real, it will always come back around. Okay. I believe that full force. If you let something go and it comes back to you, it's supposed to stay. So that's why they're getting back together. But to the point of I'm saying is you women are hurt. Okay. We use the independence as a defense mechanism because my submission is a reward. It's myself giving myself fully to your will. And I need to know I can trust giving myself to you. If I can trust that, why wouldn't I cook you dinner? Why wouldn't I massage your feet? I literally have video of me massaging somebody's feet. I know how to please and submit to a man that is literally showing me love and
So,
compassion and showing me that he cares about me. It's that plain and simple. If I feel like I can generally give my will to you and know you going and trust you with it and trust you to be my leader. Trust me, I can follow
mm,
behind you or even follow right next to you. If I can trust us to be a partnership, why wouldn't I do whatever the fuck you want me to do? Why wouldn't I? Because I want to see you happy. Because you making me happy. You making me feel good makes me want to make you feel good. It's that simple, you know. But if a woman's not doing it, like you said, she
yes, I
don't.
understand.
It's something going on. It's something going on. Like I said with my friend who his wife got pregnant by somebody else. And their relationships are on rocky terms now because of that. And I told him because of course, he's going
As
to
it
talk
should
to
be.
me about everything. Yeah. So, like, I told him, it's like something happened within her where she wasn't happy in the relationship anymore. Because if she knew the rules and what the consequences can be from breaking the rules, then something in her just was not um being as adequate, and she wasn't happy at some point, that she just
Right.
wanted something else. Because a woman that loves you is going to do whatever the fuck you want her to do. It's not rocket science, and it's not that hard to figure that out, sirs. And men out there, a woman would submit to a man she
Right.
loves and respects. So, well,
Right.
that will be
I
the
will say this
end.
though, and this
We
is
got
something
10
you
minutes
brought up that
left. Go ahead. You got 10 minutes.
okay. Well, I want to say this because it's something you brought up that I agree. You say women are hurt.
Mm-hmm.
Men are hurt too. And we had that dialogue offline about emotional intelligence, and I just gave you my point of view on it. We are hurt, we're injured, we have our vulnerabilities snapped into all the time when it comes to our interaction with women. When we are vulnerable, when we do let them in, yet we're still expected to be men. We're still expected to do the things that you expect men, not saying you particularly, but women expect men to do. There is
Yeah.
no, oh, he's hurt, so he gets a pass for not being a man. And I
Mm.
find that interesting. And again, I'm not saying it's fair or not. That's not the point I'm trying to make. I'm simply pointing out the dichotomy of it, where women can say we've been hurt, so we have to have a rough exterior, we have to do this. But men, and again, I told you, I from my own experiences to experiences of my friends to experiences of my fathers and uncles who I've spoken to, we all have common experiences when it comes to that vulnerability, that we
Mm-hmm.
let somebody in, and to have that thrown back in our faces. That whole comment, who hurt you, sort of thing. Well, she hurt
Yeah.
me, but I'm
Mm.
still expected to be the man that she wants me to be or needs me to be. And I still have to be that person because that's the duty. In this case, say it's a wife or somebody. That's what I signed up for.
Right.
A man does not get to say, not saying they don't slink back, but a man does not get to say, I don't want to do this anymore because I've
Mm.
been hurt. I don't want to do this anymore because she has not lived up to her end. She has hurt me. She has destroyed me. Yada yada yada. We don't get to say that. We're told to suck it up and be a man. We don't get to use the excuse of we've been hurt. And again, that's not even a mental health thing. That's a hey, women can say men have hurt me. I've had horrible interactions with men before, regardless if I thought I was choosing the right one, and it's left an impression on me that causes me to behave in a certain way.
Mm-hmm.
Men do not have to have the opportunity to do that.
And I say sorry on behalf of, I can't speak for all women. I could say it to me. Yeah, I get it. Yeah, women, when we piss, we cut deep. Our words can be ruthless. Okay. Especially someone who's really good at articulating words. So I get it, because a lot of men always say, when women say, why don't men express themselves more, men always say, well, when we do, y'all throw it back in our faces. It's like, yeah, we do. We do that when we piss and mad. Which we shouldn't do, but it's another defense mechanism. I'm hurt. You hurt my feelings. So in return, I'm gonna hurt your
Yeah,
feelings. It's a defense mechanism. So I'm sorry, for people men who are going through that and really feel
I
like they
understand we're
cannot
human.
be
We make
soft.
mistakes. Uh,
Yeah, definitely. But yeah, I appreciate the conversation, Webster. This was really good conversations. Thank you for coming on. You know, tell
Very good
people where they
conversation.
can, yeah, tell people where they can follow
Thanks
you
for
and
having me.
subscribe. Of course, anytime. You always welcome.
You can pretty much you type up. Thank you. Webstyle.com. Anything and everything is webstyle can be found there. Social media, Webster Style, and Tutorial Geek on Instagram, Webster Style on X or whatever it is, and then underscore Webster Style on TikTok.
All right. And you can follow me anywhere on the Head Nerds in Charge platform and silly_weaver on Instagram, guys. Thanks everyone who was tuning in tonight. This was a great conversation. I can't wait to see y'all feedbacks and commentate all this. Thanks, guys, and see you next time.